Ever feel like there's a dream inside you, just waiting to be unleashed?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've got something special for you today. A deep dive into a workbook that claims to help you do just that.
Sounds intriguing.
It's called Live Your Dream. Start now. Start here.
Okay.
And our mission today is to extract the key exercises and insights that could help you clarify your dreams, identify your strengths, and create a roadmap to make those dreams a reality.
I love it.
Get ready to grab a pen and paper. You'll want to take notes.
I'm ready.
So one of the things that really struck me when I first started reading this workbook was how much it emphasizes gratitude.
Yeah.
Not just as like a feel-good thing,
Right.
but almost as like a foundation for everything else.
Yeah, I noticed that too when I first skimmed through it.
Yeah.
And they kick things off with this quote from Leo Tolstoy.
Okay.
There is only one time that is important now. It is the most important time because it is the only time when we have any power.
Ooh, I like that.
It really sets the tone, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And, it's funny because there's a growing body of research showing the tangible benefits of a gratitude practice.
Oh, really?
It's not just about, like, feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
It can actually shift our neural pathways to focus on opportunities
Interesting.
rather than obstacles,
Makes sense.
which, when you think about tackling a big dream like starting a business,
Right.
you need that positive energy to get going and then to keep going when things inevitably get tough.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where this workbook, I think, really shines because it gives you those tools and that framework
Right.
to cultivate that positive energy.
Yeah, and then they jump into this exercise called mountains and valleys.
Okay.
Have you gotten to that one yet?
I have.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that because that one really made me think.
Yeah. So essentially what you do is you map out the highs and lows of your life so far
Okay.
on a timeline. And you plot the major life events, the good ones with stars, the challenging ones with circles.
I love that.
But it's not just about remembering what happened, right? It's about connecting those events to how you felt and what you learned.
Yeah.
It's really about uncovering those patterns in your life that show what truly drives you both positively and negatively.
And there's actually some really interesting research in narrative psychology that suggests that by visually representing our life story in this way,
Okay.
we gain a clearer understanding of our core values and motivations.
That makes a lot of sense.
So for you, thinking about starting your design business,
Yep.
were there any mountaintop moments in your past that might hold clues to what you're truly passionate about?
Oh, absolutely. I remember winning a design competition in high school, and that feeling of creating something beautiful and seeing people respond to it
Yeah.
was incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just the winning, it was the process of immersing myself in the creative flow that really lit me up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good experience.
And on the flip side, were there any valley experiences that looking back might have revealed valuable lessons?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there was this time I tried freelancing right out of college and totally bombed.
Oh, no.
It was super stressful, and I really doubted my abilities at that time. But looking back, I learned so much about time management, client communication, and the importance of setting boundaries.
Yeah.
And honestly, those lessons are invaluable as I think about launching a business now.
It's almost like those valley moments were preparing you for the bigger challenges ahead.
Exactly. And that leads perfectly into the next part of the workbook,
Okay.
where you actually identify the values associated with each of those mountain and valley experiences.
Oh, interesting.
So, for example, did a tough time teach you resilience?
Right.
Did a joyful moment highlight the importance of collaboration?
It's about putting names to those driving forces within you.
Yeah.
And the workbook argues that once you've identified those core values, you can start making decisions that are more aligned with your authentic self.
Right. It's like building a personal compass for your life and your decisions.
I love that analogy. So it's like, okay, now we're starting to get somewhere.
Yeah.
We're figuring out who we are, what we value,
Right.
what's important to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then the workbook takes a little bit of a left turn
Okay.
and asks you to list two seemingly unrelated things:
Okay. I'm intrigued.
the world's most urgent problems
Okay.
and the people who inspire you.
Now, this is where I was like, okay, where are they going with this?
Right. I had the same thought,
Yeah.
but it actually makes a lot of sense when you put it in the context of dreaming big.
Yeah, I was skeptical at first, too.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, aligning your passions with a sense of purpose can be incredibly motivating.
Absolutely.
So let's say, for example, you're passionate about sustainable fashion and you admire someone like Stella McCartney.
Okay.
Suddenly, your dream of launching a design business takes on a whole new dimension.
It's not just about you anymore. It's about contributing to something bigger than yourself,
Exactly.
which honestly can make the hard work feel a lot more worthwhile.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And that ties into the next concept. They introduce the soul fingerprint.
Oh, yeah.
This is where they encourage you to think about your unique skills, experiences, and passions as a kind of package that you bring to the world.
Like a signature offering.
Exactly, something that only you can provide.
It reminds me of the Japanese concept of ikigai,
Oh, yeah.
which is about finding that sweet spot where what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for all intersect.
It's powerful stuff.
It is. It's like this beautiful Venn diagram of purpose.
Yeah, I love that.
So you've got all these pieces coming together.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your gratitude practice.
Yeah.
You've got your core values, your soul fingerprint.
Yeah.
And you're starting to connect those passions to a purpose larger than yourself.
This is good stuff.
It is. It's exciting, right?
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see where this goes.
Me too. So let's dive into the next part and see how this workbook actually helps us turn all of these insights into action. Let's do it. Okay, so we've talked about gratitude, identifying those key life moments, and even figuring out your soul fingerprint.
Right, a lot to unpack there.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
But now how do we actually take all of that and use it to make your design business dream a reality?
But that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of self-help stuff is great at getting you pumped up,
Oh, yeah.
but then it kind of fizzles out when it comes to the practical steps.
Totally. I'm always looking for that bridge between inspiration and action.
Me too.
Yeah?
So I was really curious to see how this workbook tackles that.
Okay.
And the next section is called Implement.
Okay.
And it starts with a pretty powerful exercise, writing a detailed vision of yourself 20 years from now,
Okay.
but in the present tense as if it's already happening.
Oh, whoa. That's interesting.
It is, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're stepping into that future version of yourself
Mm-hmm.
and describing what you see, what you're doing, how you feel.
I like that.
Here's the key.
Yeah.
You're supposed to weave in everything we've talked about so far. Your core values, the problems you want to solve, the people who inspire you, and that unique soul fingerprint.
So it's like bringing all those pieces together.
Exactly. It's like painting a picture of your dream life using all the colors we've just uncovered.
Okay. I'm getting the picture.
So for you, thinking about your design business, what does that 20-year vision look like?
Okay, let me see. It's 2044.
Hey.
My company is thriving. It's known for its beautiful and ethical designs.
I love it.
I have a team of talented people working with me who share my passion for sustainability.
Amazing.
We're not just creating stunning products, we're also leading the way in responsible manufacturing and giving back to the community.
Beautiful.
And I feel incredibly fulfilled knowing that my work is making a difference in the world.
Wow. I can practically see it.
Yeah,
It's so vivid when you describe it like that.
it feels good to say it out loud.
You know what? Studies actually show that this kind of vivid visualization actually primes our brains for action.
Oh, really?
It's not just daydreaming. It's creating a blueprint for our subconscious to follow.
So we're actually wiring ourselves for success.
Exactly. But a 20-year vision can feel pretty daunting, right?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
I mean, where do you even begin?
That's what I was thinking.
That's the beauty of the next step.
Okay.
They have you break that big, audacious vision down into smaller, actionable steps that you can take in the next 3 weeks.
Oh, that's smart.
They emphasize that these steps should be concrete, measurable, and most importantly, realistic.
Okay.
3 weeks is a great time frame
Mm-hmm.
because it keeps you focused on the immediate while still moving you toward that long-term goal.
Yeah, I can see how that helps combat that feeling of overwhelm
Right.
that often stops people from pursuing their dreams.
Exactly. And to add a layer of accountability,
Okay.
they encourage you to reach out to at least 2 people from your support system
Okay.
and tell them about your 3-week goals.
Oh, I like that.
Having someone to check in with can make a huge difference in staying motivated and on track.
Oh, accountability is huge.
It is.
It's so easy to let things slide when you're only accountable to yourself.
Right.
But knowing that someone else is aware of your goals and expecting you to follow through can provide that extra push you need.
Yeah. And here's where it gets fun.
Okay.
Remember those treats we mentioned earlier?
Oh, yeah, the good stuff.
Well, the workbook dedicates a whole section to incorporating rewards into your action plan.
Interesting.
It's about celebrating small wins and
Oh.
reinforcing those positive behaviors.
I do like that idea.
Yeah.
But honestly, isn't there a risk of rewarding inaction? I mean, what if you don't actually achieve this step?
That's a great point.
Do you still get the treat?
I think the key is to be mindful of the timing.
Okay.
The workbook stresses that treats should come after you've completed a step, not before.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's not about bribing yourself to do the work.
Right.
It's about acknowledging and celebrating your efforts.
Got it. And hey, maybe for some people, the anticipation of the treat is part of the motivation.
Oh, for sure.
Like training a puppy, but you're training yourself toward good habits.
Exactly. What kind of treats do you use for yourself?
Oh, let's see. I'm a big fan of taking a long walk in nature.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it helps me clear my head and recharge.
Yeah.
But it could be anything. A good book, a movie night with friends.
It's about finding those little things that make the journey feel worthwhile.
Totally. And I imagine that sense of enjoyment helps you stay motivated and committed over the long haul.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to keep that momentum going,
Okay.
the workbook also encourages you to regularly reflect on your progress.
Oh, that's important.
They have you ask yourself questions like, what's working? What's not working?
Yeah.
What adjustments do I need to make?
Yeah, makes sense.
It's about staying flexible and adapting your approach as you go.
Right. Because life is unpredictable and things rarely go exactly according to plan.
Oh, never.
So having that built-in space for reflection allows you to course correct and stay on track even when unexpected challenges pop up.
Exactly. Because let's be real, launching a business or pursuing any big dream is going to have its bumps along the way.
For sure.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
The key is to view those bumps as learning opportunities to adjust your sails and keep moving forward. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from harnessing the power of gratitude to crafting a vivid 20-year vision and breaking it down into actionable steps.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. But this workbook doesn't stop there. It also recognizes the importance of reflection and celebration, especially when you're taking on something as challenging as launching your own business.
Yeah. It's like they're acknowledging that this is a journey, not just a destination. It's not enough to just set goals and tick them off a list. There needs to be a sense of appreciation for the process itself and for the growth that happens along the way.
Exactly. And that's where the final section of the workbook comes in, reflect and celebrate. They provide space for you to jot down the biggest insights you've gained throughout the process. What surprised you? What challenged you? What did you learn about yourself?
Makes sense.
It's about acknowledging the transformation that's occurred both internally and externally.
It's like pausing to take a breath and really absorb the experience.
Yeah.
So often we're so focused on the next milestone that we forget to appreciate how far we've already come.
And here's the best part. They encourage you to celebrate completing the workbook.
Oh, nice.
Not just finishing it, but actually engaging with the exercises and putting in the work. It's like a graduation ceremony for your dream.
I love that. It's so easy to dismiss self-help stuff as fluffy or superficial.
Right.
But celebrating your commitment to personal growth adds a layer of significance to the process. It's like you're signaling to yourself, hey, I'm taking this seriously and I deserve to acknowledge my efforts.
And they even suggest specific ways to celebrate that feel aligned with the overall message of the workbook.
Oh, really? Like what?
Things like spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, or doing something creative. It's about reinforcing those positive feelings and associating them with the pursuit of your dreams.
It's fascinating how they tie those ideas back to the earlier concepts.
I know, right?
Remember how they emphasize the importance of gratitude and giving back?
Yeah.
Well, celebrating your achievements in ways that nourish your soul or benefit others creates this beautiful sense of interconnectedness.
It's like a ripple effect. You invest in yourself, you celebrate your progress, and then you use that positive energy to make a positive impact on the world around you.
I love that.
And speaking of impact, the workbook ends with a powerful message that really resonated with me. You're on your way to saving the world by living your dream.
Whoa, that's a bold statement.
It is, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not every day you see a self-help workbook making claims about saving the world.
Right. It definitely caught my attention.
Yeah.
But I think it speaks to that larger idea of purpose that we touched on earlier. When you align your passions with a sense of contribution, your dream becomes more than just a personal goal. It becomes a force for positive change.
And I think that's a really empowering message, especially for someone like me who's thinking about starting a business.
Yeah.
It's not just about making a profit. It's about using your skills and creativity to make the world a better place, even in a small way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into live your dream, start now, start here.
Yeah.
I'm curious what resonated most with you. What one step will you take today to start living your dream?
That's a great question. I think for me, the biggest takeaway is the power of visualization and breaking down those big goals into smaller, actionable steps.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to try that 20-year vision exercise
Yeah.
tonight. It really got me thinking.
Awesome. I'd love to hear that. And for our listeners out there, what about you? What resonated most with you from this deep dive? What one step will you take today to start living your dream? Remember, every journey starts with a single step, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Go out there and create the life you envision.